to the table. Very, very aggressive, very puggy in his nature, and for MOUZ as well, it can be quite difficult to deal with. Like, they are relentless on their day, and if you let this side, you know, essentially snowball a little bit, they can be so hard to stop.
No, it's very true. It is very, very true. I think this really could be a dangerous one, and, you know, maybe for the MOUZ that has the dead team walking, quote-unquote, vibe going on. I mean, not the team, right? But, like, in terms of leadership, it's a big role to change up that certainly could have an effect. And I think we've also seen, you know, little bits come out about that it's like, well, Brollan's not actually out and out the captain, out and out the only voice that's doing a lot of the talking, or that, you know, is keeping the energy up. So something's got to change in the MOUZ camp. They just don't rightly know where that's at. And obviously, they've had great success, so it's hard to take a successful thing and make it riskily worse. We've got the start into the pistol here. The Julie's out for that CT side, pretty handily actually, able to find a couple of kills, but it's the A-bomb side that's lost a lot of control over here now. Nissim with a big find above that smoke, looking pretty good. He's looking for more as well. Gets aggressive here. Not even got the bomb planted yet, but it feels like Legacy are in control of this one.
Yeah, got the numbers and got the space too. Speaking of the numbers of that, C4 to get punched in as they look towards to lock down this A site. It's all on the shoulders of one man, and Yimfat has no chance. Seen off by Nissim, and that'll be a nice start for Legacy out the gates. Quite a punchy pistol round. Exactly what we expect out of Legacy. You know, this is the side that can really punch up above their weight, and that's what we're looking towards for them. So get out the gates nice and fast, and actually start to condition MOUZ into this sort of pacey style of play.
Yeah, it will definitely be their main approach. I think that's safe to say. Force buy coming out from MOUZ. See what they're able to find. They've lent towards B, unfortunately. Not quite working on paper, but we'll see. Kind of interesting that, you know, the T side blocking themselves off, but still making it look like just one or two players. So MOUZ still committing to this idea. They wanted to get aggressive in the upper tunnels, gain some information, maybe take some kills if they were there, but with that info, they should be able to heavily rotate players back around. And it's a slow build-up here from Legacy that will play into the hands. We kind of have this Inferno banana situation in Dust2 Round at the moment with this smoke that is just so common these days. The fight, however, all too tempting. Sadsin with a clean find onto the first.
The thing is, though, you can even see with Yimfat, who's pushed a little bit in towards tunnels, like he is the insurance policy to cut off rotations, kind of, I guess, coming back in a way towards that site, and he's going to realize sooner rather than later, like, especially as this time starts to tick, there's no one here. They're going to commit towards the A site, and this might be a bit of a massacre. The question is, who is it going to be for? Pop shot with the scout, Brollan up close and personal with that 5-7, struggling to really deal with this Galil as Dumal will deliver that first. Looks for more, and Dumal gets a second as well. He's piling the pressure on, but Xerxion's here just to keep them on edge a little bit. Latto will add one of his own, leaves it all for Yimfat, and he was that player over towards B, and he's way too far away from the action now. So with that being said, this round's all but done. Bomb will go down momentarily. They're just going to look and make sure that he's nowhere near.
Bomb has been planted.
That'll be that. I think for Yimfat, he wants nothing to do with this. He's going to keep out of that MP9, reuse it in towards the next round. But a 2-0 start for Legacy. Realistically, should be a third on the board as well. It's not going to be a reinvestment from MOUZ. Perfect way to kickstart this Dust2. It's the map that we expected to see from Legacy. At the moment, they're looking pretty clean.
Yeah, early doors for sure, but generally a good start. Just slowly winding up. I'm going to be an eco out into the next round, but MOUZ, it can be tough. I think Nissim in the pistol is the big difference maker at the moment. Beyond that, everything has kind of gone okay for them, I think. Still chiming in places, but just waiting for the game to pick up a little bit and find out whether or not Legacy are really able to match. But I think this is one of the games where you come in and you've got a few of these names now that are starting to really gain attention, but particularly with Art coming into this team, I think that they've maybe done a bit better at consistently punching up.
I agree.
And rather than just like fully vibing out, as it were, and, you know, really just relying on the aggression and the Brazilian style.
Yeah.
They do seem to have just a little bit more to them. Sure, they've been slightly figured out.
Yeah.
And maybe more respected by some of the top teams, but they're still able to really compete. And this is a game that they know they can win with all that experience and firepower involved.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things I love about Legacy, win or lose, you know, these guys live and die by the sword. Like this style of play that they bring to the table, there's not many teams that are really kind of opting for this. It's, you know, especially kind of over the last few years, very percentage-based Counter-Strike. They are a little bit looser in terms of not only the calling style, but the play style and how they like to approach their CS. And it's always entertaining, whether they're on the kind of the winning end or the losing. Always guaranteed a decent game with them. So around that saved MP9, they've gone for a gamble stack towards B. 1 HE left for Brollan. This should be a simple one. You can kind of see the way that Legacy are posturing right now. This is an A split, and they're going to realize very soon no one's actually here.
Yeah. So, an anticlimactic one, unfortunately. But, you know, again, Legacy playing quite cleverly, I feel. They've hit 3 rounds in a row now.
Yes.
In slightly different fashions, but not showing too much of their hand. Not showing too much of the tactical depth that hopefully they do have in the back pocket. Be a little worried if A was the only bomb site that they feel they could hit, but indeed, so far, keeping it simple, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All these kinds of thought processes certainly coming in. And that's 4 players in the last round, 5 players in this round, so it's big money being made as well. MOUZ could very, very quickly see this one getting away from them.
Yeah, exactly that. Well, no complaints at the moment. How things are panning out thus far. This is the first real look. MOUZ in towards the first buy tool. Is he going to bring out that AWP? It's technically a bonus buy for Legacy. Not expecting loads. They might go for a real basic B here, and this could be a bloodbath indeed. Art will open up proceedings as he flies out in towards this B site. Looking for a little more, Spinks under pressure, and he can only get one. Smoke down and Molly behind to cut that rotation towards window. And the smart decision here, MOUZ know that is a non-starter of a round. They're saving, and this is a 4th on the board. Legacy are not pulling any punches.
Yeah, it's really, again, it is quite simple, but it's quite clever. There's a bit of a concept in MOBAs called like a knowledge check, which is like when I hit level 6 and get my most powerful ability.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the timing of when I'm going to get that? Are you aware of what types of abilities a champion might have, right?
Sure.
And I think that that's something very similar in, you know, the high level of Counter-Strike, where it's like, are you aware we could still rush B here? Like, are you still prepared for that eventuality? And MOUZ just weren't. And it's a real sort of kick in the teeth for them to be like, okay, they've gone A 3 rounds in a row. Probably going to look to end A again, guys. How do we deal with that? And, you know, your B players might not even be communicating properly. And that's definitely what that looked like, because a lot of the focus was just on A. You've got Jim Fat on a swing and Spinks playing safe. It's like, we're not on the same page, like at all.
Yeah.
And you've just been pummeled there. And, yeah, immediately a timeout coming in. So I think they have just really been checked in terms of the, are you ready for every single possibility?
Yeah, and let's be frank, for basically every team that is here at Rio, of all the teams, you have to actually be really ready for things like that from Legacy. Like, this is right in the wheelhouse for an art style of calling. It's great to see. Really, really fun. I'm actually surprised. The one thing I will say is that Legacy weren't actually a little bit more proactive on the hunt. Like, I'd be looking to kind of drop a couple of weapons there. You know, that round was all but guaranteed. The way they've exited as well, they've got Dumal kind of wrapping in towards spawn, the rest of the team falling through CT. You can be a bit more aggressive because there's no real gaps, right? You've covered everything. They can't kind of slip the net and go for a ninja diffuse of any sort. You would be able to find them in that rotation. So only maybe slight downsides, of course, with 3 staying alive plus loss bonus. MOUZ can just rebuy in, no issues. But for Legacy, those small little details, they're not going to sweat over them. What I know for them. Oh, Torzy spotted him. Needs to be careful here, Sadson. Don't do anything stupid. Oh, that was close. Very close, but Torzy misses the opportunity. He's forced off the angle, and Sadson will respond with a molly just to force him off that position.
Yeah. Decent bit of utility. Bit more to MOUZ. It's good to see them getting aggressive early on as well. Just dig for some information. That's maybe what they have been lacking in the opening handful here, is just any kind of presence themselves. Latto. Thinking. They know there's someone around here.
Yeah.
Just how do you approach it? Oh, I'm going to chase that player down. They do get the trade out, but still looks good for the CT side, right? The setup and the timing of it all is just perfect.
Yeah, it is, Nissan. Seem to pounce through that smoke. take all of this long control. I really wonder now, how does Nissim activate to support them? Art and Dumal are going to take A site. Oh, first up ramp as well. 40 seconds, they'll play your time, and Xerxin going to get caught in transition. That's going to make life a little bit more difficult, especially with that molly coming down.
Yeah, this looks good now for me. There's 2 players flanking.
Oh no.
Surely been seen, but Nissim still finds it. He has to be traded here. Yeah, I was going to say, the way that that was all set up on paper, but they're just so very split, these remaining 2 CTs. Jimmy goes down as he's spotted easily. And it's Torji, left 1v2, thinking, I know where one is. The other's the planter, but I didn't quite catch him, and I've got an AWP. It just doesn't look good enough, so he's going to have to back away. MOUZ with a little more proactivity to them, but it still does not work out.
Yeah. Legacy. Love and life on this Dust2, setting up a nice T side at the moment. Kamal, you probably backed them to be able to take that. Following the attack timeout, nothing changes. Back into more success for Legacy, which is furthering the point of just how well this side can play on any given day.
Yeah.
Now we've got Sadzen out in towards the AWP as well, so he's going to contest with Torzi, who's yet to get on the board.
Yeah, it's just never good, is it, when you see a timeout go south. Art does get taken down. I suppose on his teammate's head. What's he doing there? Sadzen was like AWPing lower, and then Art's just on his head. I don't quite get that, but you know, whatever. Just classic Art things.
Yeah.
They try and respond with some aggression out long here. That also goes south. So looking pretty good for MOUZ in this 5 versus 3 situation. Very early on as well. It should be a conversion.
Yeah, it should be. Very difficult to squander around like this. The only real gap that they can work with is up towards shore. Was he keeping an eye on that with the AWP? So he's kind of perfectly primed. Make a difference. Listen. Join the group, as it's just is feeling like it's going to be a pretty simple hit towards A. Also made a bit of noise there. I feel like Xerxin, as we can see him talking, might have heard that.
Could be anything though,
yeah,
thankfully.
Not pulled numbers. Yeah, exactly. They also could be dropping down is the only other thing. Hence why Xerxin stays posted.
Yeah, Xbox is maybe the best spot on the map where you could give like audible, because it could mean anything.
Yeah.
It really could. Cool smokes. Quiet though. Again, maybe reading like a bit of a fake. They'll push up a bit further, get the rest of the utility going. So it's a nice break in the pacing there to just make them doubt. And they are really trying to spot heads above these smokes. It's not happening. They take a bit more damage themselves. They have to wait for not 1, but 2 Molotovs before getting the bomb down. 10 seconds, yeah, to get that bomb planted. Really not a lot of time.
They can get it
at
down,
this
though.
point. It's just a question of holding on. I mean, they nearly don't, to be fair, with a really great HE. It falls flat immediately, though. It's Latto against 5. He could take some guns away. That's always going to be nice, but the round itself surely does not happen, and he won't take anything. So it's a big one for MOUZ as they get there first.
Yeah, flawless as well, just to really fire them up a little bit now. This is what it's about for MOUZ. To get that first round on the board and for it to be as comfortable as it was, really is going to help things out. Now it's, again, of course, about building upon that. So yeah, Art was just...
Okay, he's having like a jump spot for lower,
he was jump spot for lower. Having a little whale of a time, but
not as wacky as I thought, but still gets caught.
Would have been weird if he was on Sadzen's head. But then again, not out of the wheelhouse for Art, to be fair. He can't always count those things out. With that first round of the board, though, for MOUZ, how do you now build upon that? This needs to be the start of something, right? We need to build up a little bit of a CT side, just to have some reserves to fall back on. Early upper B tunnels is where the presence is. And it's probably the smart call because they've completely lost long early. Lead down. Sadzen holding for a swing. Feels very doubtful he'll get one, to be honest.
Borgi trained in here. The architect of the previous round.
This is a horrible round for Legacy. They don't even really know it. They're getting suffocated.
Oh, wow. Just comes off of it. Just comes off of it. Can't take the repeat. A beautiful reposition, however. And still draws Sadzen in. That's all he was looking for. And I think with that, they don't want anything to do with the B-bomb site, but still trying to keep up appearances over there. Not really looking too good here, if you ask me. A minute left on the clock. They've got very little control of anything, and they're a man down. I don't know what you would do. You got the one smoke. Like, it's tough, but You might even think about just saving what you have here.
Yeah, they're horrible save calls to make, but they really have nothing to work with.
Yeah.
40 seconds on the clock. They have no real map control. They have no information either about what these setups look like. And to make matters worse, the one place where they did have a bit of info, they traded smoke. So in that time, who knows what could have happened? 30 seconds. This is going to be a dive in towards the A site, and it's a hope for the best. They're looking at real mechanical prowess to bail them out of what is looking like a dicey round. It felt like a dicey round from the get-go. That is a lovely nade that'll soften up Doom and Art. And now in towards ramp, they've just got to hold down the line. 15 seconds. We don't have time to mess around here. Molly tickling to the toes of Xerxian, but makes no difference as Art falls. Nissan will get one. It's not going to make a difference. Time is gone. It's ticked. And the last man, latto, he's tucked towards blue crate. He's just going to stay alive, and that is it. That's a really nice round. Again, back-to-back brilliant rounds from MOUZ. Legacy, I would actually be tempted by a pause.
Sure. Yeah. No, and I think, look, they are going to be a team, the way that they play is kind of fly-by-wire, you know, very, very loose and adaptive, sure, but when it stops working, it can be very tough for them, I think, to get back in and to figure out what's going wrong, round on round. So, yeah, timeout would feel pretty good here, in my opinion, but they're not going to go for it. They've still got the cash to keep buying, right? There's no panic stations just yet. Sad's in. This is the shot, takes a lot of damage on the way out. Torji, kind of the same situation, but gets his gun up and catches the over-aggressing R. Not the first time we're going to be saying that, probably, but okay,
all right.
That works. That's one way of getting the kill back.
Team assist from Xerxian.
Yeah, the spam works out. It's a lot of damage done. I think Xerxian was like trying to spam back, maybe.
Yeah.
Not quite sure. He's really, really low. So this whole B defense feels massively softened up.
Flash out in towards doors. They clear the close corners, and now they know they can sort of hold on to that position if they want. One less thing they have to check if they go for that kind of like initial B split, which sort of feels like what they're setting up for. You've got to smoke for the crossing towards CT. You're going to leave Doom out momentarily in towards lower if he wants to join them through doors. They're finishing towards B, but it's just the fact that back plat, Xerxian waits, and he's staying tucked as well. He's so low, he can't afford to really dip his head up. His best thing here for him is staying alive as long as possible. But a smoke down will give him a little bit of an opportunity. They do have a molly, they do have a nade, so they can clear him out of that spot.
Molotov, not been used. He will just get traded straight. It's a lot of damage that he does on the way out. Jimmy in such a good spot as well. They're not going to be able to deal with him. Dumao, though, in at middle. Huge finds from him.
No.
And he will get them all. You can't be serious. That is insane. That is what he's capable of as well. And he pulls it out at the best of times. A huge find in the mid-round.
He had no right to get away with more than one there. The first, I can sort of say, sure, right? Smoke's faded in towards CT, and he's found that swing. But this second is absolutely brilliant as well. It's so quick on Brollan. And then even the third, he's kind of fighting around that window. He's getting chipped away briefly, but it's beautiful work. Legacy up to a sixth. And he's fantastic stuff. Hawk can go quick. He's going to dive out here, but that'll work against him. Full blind, still finding the kill. latto for one, but quickly traded as MOUZ will claim stake in the numbers game in the early portion of round 9. And with that, they have to cancel on long. Now fall off that position back towards mid. And it does feel like a lot of what Legacy are doing at the moment is very reactionary, which actually leans in towards their style a lot, but it's not always the most replicable of things. The individual brilliance of that last round is hard to do time and time again, and this is where you see the other side. They whittled them down, get the numbers advantage, and MOUZ just play the trade game.
Yeah, and they're going to get a bit caught up, aren't they, in the idea of, okay, we've just had a crazy clutch, we can't actually fight back. Let's just send it, and in reality, these are some top 10 players on MOUZ, so you really have to be careful with that kind of mindset. Bomb plank going to be cancelled. The MOUZ move up to 3, an immediate response. Oh, well, there you go. There's some tactical analysis for you. And there was something aggression on short. I didn't quite catch which side he was reading, his own side or the enemy side.
No, I like it though, because it's a point that we bring up a lot. I think for me, one of the ways that I really value a team in terms of just how good they can be on a map like Dust2 is actually about proactivity on that CT side. It's a point that we bring up a hell of a lot. And if you know their money's a little bit weird and worse for wear, getting kind of aggro in towards mid and taking that control is fantastic. You see exactly that. He's getting aggressive in towards short.
Oh, he's been seen though, surely.
Yeah, it's Hudson. How do you get out of this spot? Or you just wait and hope that he has to move elsewhere, which is exactly the case. That Xbox smoke does give the AWP a little bit of coverage to still continue being a nuisance in towards mid. But I think for Torzi, he doesn't want to over-aggress, especially considering that Xertion's sort of fallen off that angle too.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's kind of like the server intelligence of the jump peak, and then he stopped. It's like, wait, he must have seen me. He would keep jumping if he was, you know.
Yeah.
So Torji's done very well to just not get caught and really tunneled in on that one position.
For sure.
He's doing a lot of work. As I think, again, behind the scenes in the interviews and whatnot, everybody seems to be aware of that fact that he's doing an awful lot of work. Heart's made some noise. A little awkward. Maybe tried to draw them in somehow. I'm not quite sure. Trades are here, though. They will find themselves in a 3 versus 3, but it's a softer one, right? You've got Art with no armor. Does have an M4 and a smoke, but yeah, no armor to speak of. Nissim. Ooh. Pivotal. Massively pivotal with only 30 seconds left. Jimmy's the one playing patiently, though. Nissim has heard them coming. It's a beautiful double spray down. And Nissim is left in the 1 versus 1. He's not ready
25.
for that one to also be up on short.
He's gone it though. He's gone. Oh,
No, not quite. He takes a pause. And Spinks, I was going to say, is maybe giving him too much room there, but it all works out in the end.
yeah. Now the money is really bad. They're spot on. Money is going to be broken off the back of that one. They needed a bomb plant to facilitate the funds. You can already see how sort of awkward the buy was. And with those kills out towards long, it allowed them to scoop up upgrades, but without a plant, they don't really have a lot. Going to stake a claim in here. But you can see, just the pistols for Legacy. This should be a pretty simple 5th on the board for MOUZ. But first fight, Brollan gets one. He comes over, good damage as well.
Ooh. Little tags.
A good nade here again. Should see another. Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, they remembered they had these big high explosive grenades, bro.
And especially against unarmored opponents.
Glock wall, though, I like that. That was kind of funny. Just all open fire and hope for the best. They came close to 1 or 2.
Yeah, exactly. Dink on towards Xertion. A couple of tags on towards Brollan. Behind the last man. He's open for something miraculous. Let's be frank, it's not happening. Not with a Glock and no armor. A consolation would be lovely. He's fighting at range and an AWP, though, so it's bold. Another nade over.
Annoying.
Just like a mosquito in
Yeah,
your ear,
yeah, literally.
buzzing by, but they swat him in the end, and that'll be now a 1-round game heading into the final round of the half. So actually a really good recovery, to be honest, by MOUZ. Themselves into a decent spot considering it was a really uncomfortable start. 4 are out the gates where Legacy were really kind of coasting by in a lot of these rounds. But since the weapons have been in play and there's been money to work with from MOUZ, it's mainly been one team in the server. Back towards B. Maybe a little bit of pace behind this as well, but I say that. They throw the nade, bait out the molly, they don't commit.
They will start bursting in, though. Yeah, they're still going to commit. It's just a slightly different timing to it, but the re-molly, super effective. Going to buy some time for the rotation to come in, and surely enough to help out here. The weaponry not strong enough. The spray down's not clean enough. It's Dumao with a lurking presence again. He's found a 4K before. I don't think he's going to be able to find a 4K like this. However, needs to recover that bomb. It is the final round of the half here, so absolutely going to be going for it in some capacity.
He's had a good half, but he's already had a quad kill, but this would really be asking a lot.
Yeah.
Umar can have some really miraculous moments for Legacy. But this would be something special if he can recover this, especially just because of that C4 being down. If it's on his back, you can kind of see where MOUZ will then have to still have presence towards A and towards mid. But they can shell up, and that's exactly what they're doing. Got one in towards CT. Brollan just to hold for rotations if he comes from long. Dumar's getting nothing. He has no idea where they could be set up, but he has a pretty good understanding that they're most likely all around that C4. He'll swing out, and he'll fall flat. Seen off at the end. It's a tied game and a great recovery from MOUZ. I'm liking what I'm seeing, and we'll see if it continues in the second half.
Welcome back in. A really, really difficult kind of half to split, honestly. Would it have been a different story if MOUZ had picked up that pistol? Would Legacy still have had that same kind of punch in the beginning with the sort of cheesy first rifle round as well? You remember they just straight rushed B and tested that. So it could have been a very different story, of course, but maybe it would have been more of the same. It's difficult to tell with a team like Legacy. They start very well. They have some individual moments there from Dumao, but MOUZ playing clinical Counter-Strike towards the end. It just took them longer to get going.
Yeah, exactly that. Let's see, we're looking towards long, and Dumao will open up proceeding. Xertion, first to fall. And taking a tag in towards Suicide early in towards the round as he was jumping for info, but now they'll smoke outdoors. A huge amount on offer here. For a minute, they're going to group up. Question is where they want to finish. Smoke molly and a flash to work with on the back of Brollan. Looks like that smoke will come for the CT cross. It might just be a split in towards B, but with the majority of the bodies coming through from mid.
Oh, giving his position away. I mean, maybe trying to distract, and it has worked. Nissim picks up 2. They're holding strong on the site itself. It's just going to be down to Spinks here. Could drop 1 or 2. This player on big box is just so low. Oh, man. Give him another couple bullets, and I think he would have found all 3 of those players. Not the case, but it's unfortunate for MOUZ. It's very unfortunate. They don't seem to have the pistols in the locker at the moment.
Yeah, not a bad effort. Nissim does well, though. I think he needed to get a multi-kill there. If he only goes 1 for 1, it puts latto under so much pressure on the backside, especially taking fights from 2 different angles. See again, both pistols now taken by them. Won't get the force out for MOUZ, so the follow-up also should be going the way of the Brazilians. The one thing alleviating what feels like the pressures that MOUZ are putting on towards Legacy is that they are getting those pistols and the somewhat nice starts in towards the half. Without those, I mean, who knows really how this map looks, but the assumption is pretty one-sidedly if we're considering kind of only gun rounds. At least Legacy have that to fall back on. MOUZ once again going to move through mid doors. This time, full contact play. Spinks going to look towards window. No one there. It's latto close by the doors that they've got to be careful of. But again, he doesn't really need to take a fight at range, to be honest. He can sort of invite the pressure in.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's after. Just a spotter, really.
He's got the util as well to just shut them out.
It's a very strange position from Dumao as he takes a rotate ultimately and looks in towards middle. So they've read this pretty well. Eagle does chime in for 1, gets the reload off, but not going to get anything else. So just the 1 kill coming round. They're going for the super early AK, so feeling good about the rifle rounds as you would expect, but just a really sharp finish from them in that first half. Trying to continue that as quickly as they possibly can here.
Yeah, that's it. Coming towards his first gun round for MOUZ. Pretty important. Once again, start chipping away at this deficit. He did so well in that first half to get rid of. He's going to dive out in towards long here. It's up in front of Spinks, who will only tag him once. Break on the smoke, but Ar's trying to fall away. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome there. You know for the very least that they've taken long control. They haven't crossed yet properly, but now they're making a move, and those taps are good by Dumao. He'll get one, but Xertion will find one of his own through the smoke, and an aggressive move by Nissim will lose him his life, but Brollan wasn't expecting a second. This is chaos, but this is where Legacy do a lot of their best work.
Dumao.
Oh, no further, no further.
Really, really dangerous here. Flash coming in. He wants to go further, but he does it in a safe way. 2 versus 2.
It's good info gather there.
Yeah, right. It's a really big trade off. Sadzin, though, just totally caught deer in headlights, leaving latto with it all to do. He's got a full belt of utility. That's about the only advantage that we can give him here. He looks to take a higher fight. They've hugged this wall. He's aware of that fact, and he knows the angles. 1 HP the difference, man. That's so unfortunate. It's Sadzin on the overface. Even if he goes down early, at least he could have had a teammate, and he knows it. You know, Art's just kind of making sure that he's all good. It happens. He's definitely had a damn, that was my fault.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Because if he plays that just a little bit more passive there, even in towards elevator, holding for the cross, like you're absolutely fine. Or falling back on towards the site and playing elevator there, right? Would have had a lot more luxury in terms of miss a shot, I can fall away here. He wasn't given that with that fight. We're diving out towards long again, and that's 2 for latto to start things off. MP9 going to look for more, but Brollan and Torzi will combine to reclaim some space.
A lot of damage done to these remaining 3 T-side players as well. Not looking good. But super, super dangerous, I think it is safe to say. As there's some unpredictability that comes in. You find those kills super early. It's good to see from Legacy, though, that they're just not letting up after a tough loss in the previous round. This is kind of their default, their answer to a lot of problems is to just really bang their head against the wall.
Yeah.
There's a great position now for Nissim to be in as well, and I think they'll be quietly aware of the fact that someone could be around. Just all depends how cleanly things go. Nissim with a dangerous swing here. Gets one, and the low HP now makes a difference. He's looking for all of them, and he will. Perfectly played. Huge 3-piece from him, and a big round for Legacy.
Yeah, that's robotic. Really, really well done there from Nissim. So easily, just could have fallen off to the first, or not even getting the first as well. Then B-site open, and we know how difficult it is to retake that B-site. Fantastic stuff. Does so unbelievably well. Invites Brollan into that third fight as well, which goes against them. A huge round to scalp away. Not only taking the round, but what it means in terms of a knock-on effect. Look at the finances now for MOUZ. The C-side have nothing to fall back on. It's a complete low buy bar. 1 P250. All Glocks, no armor, no utility. It'll be simple, or should be, for Legacy to be the first side to crack into double digits. Sides in play. Dangerous game here. Very dangerous game, and he's going to get overrun by the Glocks, and M4 scooped up.
How wide can you go? I don't really know. He's flown round that corner. Convinced that there was someone around, but just gives too much of himself away. And now it gets kind of strange. You feel uneasy in a situation like this. They've not confirmed loads. Are they on a full eco? Oh, it's hard to tell. And as they keep the damage coming, it's going to look scarier and scarier. Nissim on 7 HP now. Still got this M4 in the conversation, so... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes you get this feeling in rounds like this.
You do. One more player gets overwhelmed by a group, and in a lot of trouble here. We're going to go for a late move back towards A. I'm on the back here of Torzi. I feel like a lot of this has to be sort of done by Brollan. That M4, but let's see. Do MOUZ reclaim a little bit of space? Art, he's in trouble. He's going to get dinked as well. That's another overface, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Drive-by clocks can be really difficult to deal with. Desertion at least will fall. This is feeling dicey and a little bit of a labor spray, but MOUZ will deliver. Down goes the leader, but I think they might just have survived the scare. That was really on a knife's edge there for Legacy, and it's a huge sigh of relief for them.
Mate, one smoke to just cover that cross, and I think it's a totally different story. They were just very hesitant to try and cross together, and it's a little fortunate the way that the cards fall. Still, they've done well, I suppose, to bail themselves out in the same vein. A bit of mechanical skill required for it, but
for sure.
Looks decent. They move into the double digits then, and MOUZ are going to have to stay hot on the heels here. A Legacy pick of Dust2 that we predicted, that we thought would be a pretty solid shoe-in for them. So far, so good. Relying on the pistols, but if that's the way you got to do it, that's the way you got to do it.
Yeah, you absolutely take those. Monumental round here for MOUZ. If you lose this, especially if you don't get a bomb plan again, it's going to cripple the finances. And at that point, it sort of feels like you're playing for overtime. Never a comfortable spot to be in. We're essentially going to need, what, 5 in a row? I don't know how well I'll feel about that. MOUZ will deliver an opener. Brollan hits the deck. Now it's the call from the grave.
Desertion. Slow contact in here. Needs an opener. Needs to make this happen. Info on short, but it'll be late. Ooh,
oh my God, Sadson.
Man, yeah. Desertion was thinking about a peek. He's kind of lucky that he just really can't die here.
That's a good smoke.
Still thinking of going through it. Or do they have the time to sit around and wait?
So is Doom, funnily enough.
Yeah, well, who'd have thunk? It is certainly a legacy textbook move. They're moving in towards B here, and this feels so impenetrable right here. Dumao is blind through that smoke. He really wanted to push it. And it has fallen into chaos, but with the positional strength that the CT side are able to show us, they just mow them down eventually. And that initial kill as well, I think, really coming into play.
Yeah, absolutely. But that B side setup is absolutely excellent. They're both holding kind of crack angles there, slithers to work with, but they're expecting to swing out, and that's exactly what they get. Perfect work. latto, the two that he finds are really important. Legacy now up to 11. Like we said, a loss there, especially about that bomb plant. It's going to leave you so low when it comes towards the finances, and that's what we're getting here. Upgraded pistols is basically going to be as good as it gets for MOUZ. So at this point, essentially they are playing for overtime. You assume that this round should be a write-off. Now, you never can make those assumptions, especially when A, it is Legacy, and B, it is MOUZ, because they both have the ability to simultaneously win and lose rounds like this. As we saw with that earlier Glock round, was a little dicey, but theoretically speaking, it should be a simple one for Legacy to lock themselves in towards 12 on their map pick. Let's see will that be the case.
Yeah, looking very good here, I think. Just able to split themselves in the early portions. Again, MOUZ might be able to get the download as it goes on, but they just don't have enough room to do that in the second half.
Nade.
The protocols, the early utility usage from Legacy as well just feels way more intentional on this CT side. And MOUZ, it's looking dangerous in the early doors. I'm not going to lie to you.
I agree. I love that frontside tunnel smoke from Legacy, and then the nade behind it is just something that feels a little bit defaulty, but the timing is perfect. They don't really know that, but Xerxes takes a hell of a lot of damage, and nice way to slow down any ideas of looking towards B. Now, a lurk smoke thrown here by MOUZ to feign presence that that's where they wanted to go, that dive through tunnels, which is something they haven't really done. Once again, they're going back towards doors. It's been where MOUZ are defaulting a lot of their rounds towards. And again, it looks like he might get a pretty similar hold here. latto, he's up on towards the window. He'll flash over as well. He's ready to take the fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious here, but we'll still see how they manage to hold. One in the tunnel. Could be a rare peek from him. latto goes down a bit too easily, and Nissim misses his mark. The awkward dissipation of the smoke. Not happening. An advantage for MOUZ now.
They might save.
And I think Legacy will move to save indeed. They don't have loads of cash. That felt really telegraphed, to be honest. You know, you get like the lurk smoke down on B, and then you got the mid to B smoke. It's like, okay, we're going B, I guess.
Yeah.
Usually the lurk smoke is a bit of a fake out. You smoke towards short or something, and then you come back to mid if you want to go B. But they just kept it flat. Relied on the mechanics.
Yeah, agreed.
It works out. That's a really big low buy round to be taken.
Art will go look for a late fire here. He needs to be careful. It's not a favorable angle for him. I think he's making the smart call of just retracting himself from that situation. You don't want to drop another gun. It's not exactly like Legacy are in trouble financially speaking. It's more the case that because MOUZ are, you don't want to give them another rifle. But it's great work. It's this fight here, really. If Nissim wins down towards Spinks, he can probably get at least another before the bomb goes down. And then at that point, his numbers advantage on the retake, but not to be. 11-8 now, and it isn't that play for overtime. And like we said, simultaneously MOUZ can win those and Legacy can lose those. And that's exactly what happens. Of course, out towards long. Just about misses his window as he sits in the flames, looks for a second chance at it. Same result, and Art doing what Art does best as he takes long doors. That is so risky, but it's Art in a nutshell.
Does drop back, which is fair, feeling that he might have been heard.
He's a changed man.
Yeah, well, you know,
him,
there's a level, there's a balance.
Proud of him.
That's what it's all about. The yin and yang and all that. Maybe he has found Zen.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect break. Perfect break. I mean, the damage as well. Sad's in. He's wanted a challenge. He gets it. Torji will take him. as he bites off a bit more than he can chew, but he still looks pretty damn good in this round.
Yeah, we like that.
Spinks remains, and 12 is right around the corner.
Oh, wow. What a round. That is something. That's a statement. Sadson's very happy about that, and too damn right. And in final timeout taken by MOUZ, but that is a beautiful one from Legacy. And, you know, it's been a bit of a conversation for us. We've kind of been talking about it throughout this map, where it felt like that MOUZ have had maybe a bit of an edge on the gun round specifically, especially in that first half. And was it going to be more of the same in towards the second? I think that was a really important one for Legacy, just to show it for themselves that we can go toe-to-toe with these guys, and we can still play quite brazenly aggressive and make life uncomfortable for them. And they do exactly that in that round. That break on the smoking towards mid doors is absolutely perfect, and they get 2 off the back of it, and they catch them rotating in towards short, which is information to be gained, allows the A-side players to maneuver to set up to further that aggression. It's fantastic. It's brilliant work. That shot, bit of fortune, but you take him all the same.
Great little angle there.
Love that. Lovely
To see it from all aspects. So, may well be the closer here. MOUZ are going to have to turn things around in a big, big way. Waiting for this molly and smoking a flash off the back of it. It's a nice idea. Oh, Dumal left out, isolated. Oh, with the double spray down, however, feels pretty good at this stage. Trades are in. And so, when the dust settles here on Dust, it's MOUZ with that one-man advantage.
So spaced out as well. Splitting the sights here. This team's already got 3K to win an important round. Can he do it again? This would be something quite miraculous. He's playing anti. It'll be first contact. Spots the shoulder. This one's in a bit of trouble. When does he time this nade? It could single-handedly see off Brollan, but it doesn't. It goes deep. And with that being said, they're now crossing towards the A site.
Oh. They're going to boost. No, Nissim's just, on the jump peak, and he gets clapped. Damn. Not happening for him. They back off, and Sadzin will take that save. So MOUZ, post-timeout, looks pretty good. They had a clear read in the game plan. It's like they molly long, and then they smoke on top of it. Let's mess that up and get our own little play going here. And it works very, very nicely indeed. You can see just fully thrown off. I think that smoke would have been like a mistake. Wow. That is a crazy shot, to be fair.
And he was waiting for it as well.
Yeah.
Either that or the swing from short, but the crosshair was placed perfectly. MOUZ up to 9. And Alexi a little bit back to the drawing board. The finances are a bit funky as well. You got a couple players sitting on like 4 to 6K, but then there's a couple that are a little bit lesser. Still feel like knowing Legacy, you'd want to buy in a situation like this because you're going to have guaranteed at least one more gun round before the end of regulation. And they're going to do exactly that. You lose this one here, and things become very spicy indeed. Then we're most likely going the full 24. And with that being said, opportunity for MOUZ to fully reset things if they can take it to OT.
Would be crazy. Yeah. Would be absolutely crazy. I mean,
it's 2 separate halves with 2 different types of recoveries from MOUZ.
I know.
They'll just look back and like, we just started better.
yeah, all the pistols, right? That is the big thing that's really the difference here, that Legacy have been able to pick up 5 rounds off of 2 pistols, right? There was a force in the first half and just a solid eco in the second. Feeling a bit panicked. Legacy are kind of all over the place in terms of where they're posting up, putting the aggression, looking for that first kill. Really good nade again. They've got fantastic HE usage.
It's pixels away.
It is. It really is.
He wants to get some information. And, well, there's some for latto. It's Xerxin caught. This is risky. This is really risky. If he moves up the stairs, it's a left eye peek for Brollan, so he'd be dead to rights.
Just not paying attention to that smoke, though. Punished. The AWP on a change-up, slightly more aggressive, and there you go, locks in the HE. Potentially helping. I think a headshot through that still would have been absolutely fine, but all the same, Legacy putting themselves in the winning position now. Remaining MOUZ players, it's not too far of a guess to presume that they are up short. They are looking for a short play. They've positioned themselves well. It's 2 coming round, and down to just Torji with 11 HP, can't even break through the smoke. And it will be Legacy, not necessarily cleanly over the finish line, but a but there are, of course, still 2 potential maps left to go.
Yeah, we've got this Inferno coming up as well, and this is a map which we said feels like a little bit of a handshake, but also you've got one big thing. These two sides played at the tail end of last year, 13-11 to MOUZ, a close game, but while that was such a long time ago, that's not maybe really even relevant now. You've got what feels like a nicer style of CS from Legacy at the moment. Yeah. Maybe not a strong MOUZ, a little bit of a weaker, maybe downtrending MOUZ side at the moment. And I don't know, a really interesting game here. Like MOUZ heading in towards their map pick, do feel like they're maybe slightly in shark-infested water a little bit. This could be really, really interesting. And one thing that Legacy have got going for them, pretty good on the pistol.
This is true.
If they go 3 for 3, that will be very fun.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to help your game in a big way. They start off on the CT side here.
Oh yeah.
Lovely,
oh, yeah.
lovely double nade. And they're rushing off the back of it, right? So it's just full pandemonium. Great flash, but the contact flash is also pretty good. And unfortunately, nothing coming out of the Julies. An attempt from Art is shut down before he even makes it through the smoke. And surely that has to be all she wrote. There's a lot of low HP bars. I don't think they're going to get a chance to test them. And Nissim is still twiddling his thumbs over in pit for most of this round.
That very easily could have flipped. At the same time that the double nades come over from MOUZ, there's a nade over on towards half wall, which softens up. I think if I'm right in saying it was Brollan and Torzi. And with that being said, they were kind of the first people coming in towards that site. So it very easy could have gone the other way. That flash is perfect. Right? The dualies tucks towards first orange who have no impact in that round. If he isn't blinded properly or if he's able to kind of get out in front of that flash, could be a different story. In fact, he's going to check. And we'll see it off. It is flawless. What a statement to start things off for MOUZ, who have looked a little worse aware and lackluster on the pistols. Brilliant there. Absolutely no complaints at all. The right way to get things started on your team side of Inferno. And now a good opportunity to scale in towards their map pick with a lot more confidence than it felt like it, especially at the start of that Dust2.
Forced to come through from Legacy. Try and find some success here and maybe some creativity. And indeed, the smoke's down so that they can play just one on B. Always going to be a fan of that. MOUZ. Oh, just got to be careful, man. There's a couple things creeping in from both sides. I think getting comfortable in these land setups potentially. Straight in the arena, you know?
Yeah.
Albeit with no crowd at the moment. So get you nice and comfortable, but maybe a couple of mistakes here or there.
Yeah, absolutely. Long lurk smoke going to come out as well. That'll give them the ability to scale forward, but there's a lot of bodies here from Legacy. This could get really dicey. Not budging just yet, but they're starting to creep. Another dive around this corner. Bomb spotted. Art for one. Nissim latto kills a piece. Bomb is dropped in a precarious spot. They got to recover that, and they're taking damage. Torsi dinked down to 17. This round is falling apart right in front of their eyes. There's 40 seconds to recover from a 2 versus 4.
They do such a good job, man, finding the good timing. I didn't think it would work for them. They were obviously trying to catch them with nades in hand, catch them off guard, and yeah, I didn't think it was necessarily going to work because it did seem like the guns were all up and pointed in the right direction, but
they found a gap here, though.
Just a little one. Oh, they go early. You know what? You really, really, really could have milked that at the back end of the site. If nothing else, it's just going to buy time. I don't know if he gets this kill. I'm not going to check him. He's so lucky. 8 seconds, just buying all that time now. They have to be careful not to overplay the hand. Fake comes in, but it does not happen.
Wow.
And a big force buy take for Legacy.
That's a huge round to take considering what they bring to the table, because it's ultimately not a lot. It's a couple of SMGs, some upgraded pistols, a sliver of utility, but it's all about that play. Art perfectly timed. He's sent out first as well, of course, as he often is. He sends himself into the thick of it, but the trades and the support behind him is fantastic, and then he waits, bides his time there, because he very easily could have fought on that long aggression when there was about 17 seconds on the clock. He tucks, he waits, sub 10 seconds, then they're moving in, and, well, he also got quite fortunate. They try and pull out right on his position. Everything looking lovely. What a response from Legacy, and we say it very often, it's not about the pistol, it's about the force buy. That's where you can really start to get a bit of a runway. Unfortunately, the response to MOUZ is as best as they can bring to the table, but it's not great.
Yeah, going to have to net like a bomb plant here, some damage, stay really, really close to Legacy in this one, but I don't know. Yeah, you set yourself up for failure losing a round like that, and I think Legacy might be able to, as you say, put some runway out.
Now going to take some banana control, and you will when you've got that deep smoke. Quiet here from MOUZ. They're angling towards A, but not committed by any means. Surge can get himself a nice shot. That might coax them back to B.
Oh,
he does get a tag off as well. He's at least trying to be a bit of a nuisance with that Deagle. Again, this is where they're looking to finish towards this A site. There's 3 in this direction as well. 40 seconds on the clock. The smoke's going to come through. So now it's all but confirmed where they're looking to finish. Sadden. An early fight from him couldn't have a kill, but it's a team kill, which is arguably good enough.
Yeah, looking good here. There's a little creep through from Xerxian. He thread that needle, but they had eyes on it. They were very, very ready indeed. And Legacy picking up steam. That is almost the perfect follow-up round as well, you know? Does not get much better than that, so I think they'll really put themselves in a position now to just start steaming ahead ever so slightly.
That's it. Hopefully inexpensive. No bomb plant as well. Be a Legacy 11 life.
Yeah. And another one to go along with it.
Exactly.
You know, that's
it's a
the big
little
thing.
cheeky 2-for-1 special.
Yeah.
Buy one, get one free. Nade over, and it is sumptuous. Xerxian will start the round at 27 points of HP. Second nade about to come through in a second as well. There it is, lands right on top of Torzi. Everybody getting dealt a bad hand by the util. And Dumark a clean house here. He's tagged off, but surely has no issues with the MP9. It's latto to get to. Simple work, flawless for that third on the board, and some fair decent money made there as well.
Yeah, looking strong. Just a question of whether they're going to be able to continue this moving forward. MOUZ looking for a response, looking for a quick response. Absolutely need to find success, otherwise it's going to be a quick day in the office for them here, and not the way that they'd want to kick things off in IEM Rio. That is to say the least. Sadzin out with this orb, looking for the long-range fight. May well get it. Not quite sure what the face-up's going to look like. But Torji down there does eventually take the peak and could have gone down, but the orb just scared off, maybe flashed off at a certain point.
Yeah, 3 towards B in the early portion of the round, but they're now draw back over towards the A site. He can show up this long presence. Xerxian trying to just feign a little bit of banana control. It's basically only him here for now. This fight by Nissim could be important, but MOUZ going to retract. Look tempted to dive out in towards Boiler, but because Xerxian's got in front of this smoke, he does actually have a natural gap to work with, and they can just pull the numbers over here. Nade will continue to soften up a little bit. Xerxian is pretty damn low. This round has legs behind it until that smoke comes down, and that'll just slow them down.
Yes, but it also comes kind of unprompted. So a lot of the time you see that as a response to T-side utility. That's not the case here. They are talking, they are thinking, and you know, you saw A players moving away and
really sure
B players trying to go towards A. Sats in,
yeah.
Stays cool, and they've just lost the sense of control. Ooh. Didn't quite land that one. Yeah, we both had to have a double check there.
It looked on though.
It really did. He might just have done enough already, however. Nissim holding at the back end of the site will get traded out. Still more support behind him in the form of Art. The AWP is here as well to just draw them in. And surely between the 3 of them, they will get it done. So Sadzin with a huge couple of openers. Really well held, as to be expected. Bleeding into these Inferno bomb sites can be very difficult when you're a couple players down. MOUZ with the immediate timeout.
I think it's the right call here. Really big work, though. That's what it's about. Sadzin looking sharp, which is good because he started really slow in towards that Dust2. He got a little warmed up towards that tail end. There was a couple of moments here or there where he had some very impactful kills, but overall stats-wise wasn't exactly out of his mind. But Sadzin can have these maps and can have these moments where he really takes over, and if this is going to be the case for the Inferno, MOUZ might be in a bit of trouble. So I think it's the right time to call for what feels like maybe a little bit of an early timeout, but I think they understand that this is not how they wanted to get things started in towards their map pick. Legacy are looking electric. Back into another low buy as well for them. They got a bomb plant around like that. That would give them the finances to squeeze out a buy. Without it, they just don't have enough. Tech9's across the board. Deagle for Spinks. Just a bit of utility, hoping for the best, but all things considered, generally speaking, around like this, we kind of say if we can get a bomb plan, that'll be nice. Anything more feels unlikely.
First comes in nice and easy, and well, MOUZ is going to stick around and absolutely stop them in their tracks. Really gives the game away as well as to what the main plan for this one was. Not sure how much talk has gone in during that timeout. You'd hope more so about the rifle, but sometimes it can come down to the force buy strat.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
The nade dropped over towards CT. I was wondering whether there was one lurking about. I'll scoop it up, but with that being said, the 3 remaining are going back towards A, and Art has rotated over at a good time. Sadzin continues to hold long control. Art going to play from the site itself, and you've got Nissim in Big Pit. A pretty locked down defense, and under a minute on the clock. How I feel about this from MOUZ. Moto Smoke will come through. Nice nade to further deal damage on towards Spinks on the cross. There's no way you get past Nissim, and he's going to get all 3. Brilliant from him, shutting it down. A flawless round by Legacy to put a 5th on the board. And that low buy, not even scratching the surface. Legacy are looking lovely right now.
Yeah, really not a good sign. I think that that is so simple, and there's just not a lot of contest. So the long and the short of it is that Legacy are in full control.
Yeah.
Legacy are probably in a losing position with the way that this early stage is going. Jimmy's struggling. Spinks yet to frag, right? If you can keep things that way, it should absolutely be your half at the very least. Oh my goodness.
Talk about the confidence of Sadzin. He very nearly gets overconfident there as we get tagged, but he will get out. Trade an aid back. Bits of chip damage, but Brollan now going to call from the grave in this one with a lovely find. Another nade and further damage. Xerxin, I feel like, is really getting the short end of the stick here with this youthful damage. Playing every round at like half HP or less.
Yeah, sure. That is true. But he's often the first facer in Banana, so part of the job, really.
Yeah, it comes to the territory big time. I will say, though, but Legacy's util does feel excellent at the moment, not only in terms of the offensive utility, like those nades has been doing so much damage. Like, I'd actually love to look at, like, the end of the half or the end of the map, like, what the util damage, especially end of the half, like, what the util damage is looking like. Some of these B guys are going to have crazy amounts, but I think the timing on their smokes are being really, really solid, especially towards B, leaving them late, making sure they have a couple left over as well, just in case. Question is now, who they hear? They've thrown one deep, as Duma wants to invite them in. Is there another somewhere? Art goes searching, as Art often does. He'll lose his life.
Yeah, I can maybe allow it. About 35, 40 seconds left there. However,
On the back.
Yeah, they've really misread the situation. Nissim does manage to find one, hopefully holding the line, but Xerxin gets his kill on the other side. Nissim faking out. He's looking to drop that bomb, but he can't round the corner. Oh man, it's such a weird game state to find yourself in now. Nissim has sort of sold things massively though. I think he will get the catch over here. No, actually, it's close. One bullet, the difference doesn't happen, and they have just been overwhelmed and confused to allow MOUZ back on the board in a situation that really did not feel like it should have been theirs. And yeah, the first domino is Art getting aggressive down mid.
Yeah. And now in hindsight, you can argue it just feels very unnecessary.
Yeah.
Play the numbers advantage, play for the trades. It was just, you know, a war on a couple of different fronts there, and that's where it draws Legacy out of position, and they're umming and ahhing about how they want to play their kind of defense on towards the site specifically. Do we re-aggress, or do we try and shell up here and invite the pressure in? And because they're caught in two minds, they don't have to play it. Art's going to go for that secondary, as he does like to do. Lamolly's down, going to play one out in front as well. It's Xerxin to open up proceedings. This is mightily close. Pop shots through the wall are really threading a needle.
Nate took damage off 3 players, might even have been 4. So they're massively softened up, but then so are the CT side, to be honest. Still feels like it really could go either way. Dumao. It's such a cheeky position.
It's normally one and done though, isn't it?
Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't get like checked or considered at all. And I think in a round like this, that might be the case. Ooh, Xerxian falls. He knows they're coming now. He'll maybe call for a rotation as well. He's going to take the swing early, and he does get traded out. Brollan on 1 HP. I honestly think he could have held for a bit more. Not going to be the case. Flash to make the difference here. It might. Oh, Brollan's got to stay away from it. Strafe in the air to make sure he's nowhere near that grenade. He will slow things down massively here. The bomb plant has been denied, and it's in the hands of Brollan. A weird little thing to note. All right.
That spilled forward as well.
Yeah, that honestly has just left me a little bit speechless.
I don't know about the guy on the right-hand side. This is the only issue. Xerxian's actually got a nice little gap in. He will get one. He knows about the second two, and Xerxian will get both.
What is going on?
Oh, it's way too close for comfort. It has to be said, but MOUZ, another round where late in towards it, they dig themselves out of a hole when things are looking really uncomfortable.
That's crazy though. I mean, Brollan, he's kind of in-game, like body language, if we see it again. He's like looking behind him, see where his players are at, you know, like, you're going to swing with me? No. And then he loses the bomb. And then the remaining CTs just go flying in when there wasn't that much time. I feel like they could have potentially held to just try and force the bomb to fall even further forwards or not be recoverable in the right time. Really, really messy round from both sides.
And this is where things can look very akin to what we saw at the start of Dust2, right? It was a really nice start by Legacy out the gates, but then a really good recovery from MOUZ to follow it up, and it could be more of the same here. If MOUZ can find round number 9, it just breaks the finances up towards Legacy, and that's where they ultimately should be tying up the game. So could be a very similar thing of a strong start, but maybe lack of consistency when the full gun rounds are out in full force. In fact, oh my god, he's shooting so early on the shadows there, Nissim. He kind of scared himself into a fight he loses.
Yeah, it is true.
There's preempting when you spot a shadow, and then there's, you know, a couple of meters off.
Sadzin looking to pick up the pieces with this AWP, as he has done in a number of rounds so far in this series. So he would not put it past him. Same vein, I think MOUZ are aware of the fact that there's going to be some sort of attempt in the mid-round to re-aggress, either with a move forwards or just the positions that they're holding. Art finds himself very alone here, but he's able to play anti-flash from here a couple times, actually. He will get halfway checked. It's Sadzin to find the kill, left on 1 HP. As Torji, I think, through Spinks has hit him. Maybe a wall as well. And that's how he lives and finds his kill. Rotating one off, though. They're suspecting a late flip to the other bomb side, which has happened a number of times now. Sadzin to find another kill. And Dumao in this pit is going to have to really go large. The flash is great. He's surely bought enough space. Wow. He gets another one in as well. That's 2 self-flashes to just absolutely destroy them.
Yeah, he's done so well there. Dumao single-handedly takes over to shut down that A defense, and things were looking really uncomfortable. Fantastic work. And he runs out of ammo, and he's like, should I reload? Nah, we're just going with the pistol. This is a little bit funny. He's so far off the mark when he spots the shadow, but...
It's also a shadow that looks exactly like a person.
Yeah, no,
usually
true.
You just see like the edge of the silhouette, like the leg silhouette.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just kind of instinctively reacted.
Huge round though for Legacy. Funny. We were kind of talking about the stakes at hand there. They lose that one, and financially they're going to be in a lot of trouble, which is a springboard for MOUZ to work with. Put them back in their place a little bit. They're going to try and dive through here. It's off the first. The AWP, does he realize one's even crossed? It might not even matter, because Art's going huge. Leading by example as Captain Fantastic gets 3 before he falls, and it leaves it all down to 2. Torzi and Xerxian, surely a next to impossible round here. There's 3 in the direction of this site, and Sadzin in that big green will see off one of the last, leaving it all on the shoulders of Torzi in a 1 versus 4, which he has no chance in. Legacy have guaranteed a lead at the half already.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing so well these past couple of rounds that they've done a very good job of stepping up when it's needed, right? Yeah. And again, this is something that at times for a side like Legacy can be missing, that it's like the discipline goes out the window and they lose momentum and they struggle to get back into it. But they've done it a few times now against MOUZ, where it's like, okay, we lose this tough round, we lose this 1vx or to a hero moment, and they just look really, really great. Able to bounce back without even taking timeouts is the big thing. They've got MOUZ on the back foot, both in terms of the scoreline, in terms of the timeouts as well. And that speaks to the mental, that speaks to the confidence. Legacy just able to stay in that flow state.
That's it. Times are looking very, very good over towards Legacy. There's a lot to like right now. Couple of rounds left to play in this half where, unfortunately, again, MOUZ have to take a bit of a half bite. Unfortunately, nothing they can really do in a spot like this in terms of investing. It's just been such an uncomfortable full buy they went for it. So half here and hope for the best, but assumptions being that Legacy should be taking an 8th. Early util damage towards top B is pretty good on Doom. They're doubling back. We're finished towards A. Got Art and Nissim here. A cheeky angle by Nissim, which is actually often overlooked. You normally look deeper on towards the big box on site. So he should be able to get one and also then fall away if he doesn't get caught with util in hand. Good timing on his molly, though.
And he wants to follow up.
I love it.
Nissim wants to try and chase it. Called for a flash. And we'll see that they're scared off. It's quite late, to be fair, though. Does it really give you a clear picture? No. Goes in for another. I think that flash was slightly dodgier by the looks of the little mini-map movement. But either way, there's no one long hauls. They can kind of confirm that. And they are headed towards B. And yeah, no long hauls presence. They immediately get the B cross smoke down here. So Legacy really working on a higher level than you might expect.
Latto's a molly. Timing on it could be pretty excellent. He's going to wait towards back box, but on a second, Dumal goes down, and so does Latto. We might have life in this. Nissim's going to find one of his own, but now it's about this retake. It's about crossing on towards the site, and Sadz has other ideas. Can't net the second as he wants to cross. He'll lose his life for it as he's just jumping about. And unfortunately, with how low Nissim is, this round might be a write-off.
Maybe. Art's in a decent position to maybe get something done.
He's far forward here.
Yeah, they're giving a lot of space across. Spinks is just over half. Footstep heard. And Spinks with the trade. They do well to find the timing on all those movements. And it's a nice one. I think it's a little bit, you know, unorthodox in the way that MOUZ approach. Maybe they literally didn't have a smoke for the cross, but I think that might be the case given the fact that, you know, they were trying to get the bomb across no man's land like that. But the lack of the smoke, the working off the contact flashes instead, catches 3 players off on B.
Yeah,
like they had a good setup there to deal with it, and it's really not enough. Sadzin, I think I'm trying to get the read here. It's like he's confident they can hit the shots, but I think he's more confident that he just won't die.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly,
and that's the way that sometimes he goes flying into these angles, these bomb sites. It helps when you've got the AWP up and you're contacting in. But yeah, I think that he is like, don't worry about it. This crazy play, I'll live. They won't be expecting it. Or there's actually not going to be anybody on that angle. And he gets taught the lesson once or twice.
It's a pivotal round, though, for MOUZ to be taken. Like, they were really on the back foot. And they've at least given themselves a chance to alleviate some of the pressure. Dynamic sets up here in towards mid is make or break, and Spinks will pop his head up for 1. They tried something a little cheeky. It's Nissim will lose his life, and Sadz are now a known quantity with that open towards mid.
I mean, MOUZ doing a decent job in some of these rounds. You know, the push and pull factor that we talk about on Inferno, kind of its core DNA. Yeah, I like to think there are some teams that play it differently and try and evolve it, but it always comes back to this, and MOUZ doing a good job of it in this round and some of the earlier rounds as well, and just fully conditioning things away. And again, it's a difference of the force buy in this case, but it is the early rounds that MOUZ are just not quite able to fully convert.
Oh, that is so brazen. Somehow no one's died, and Art's been given the luxury of getting away. They're not committing towards B here, but Zershing is trying to keep that pressure on. They're going back for a late play towards A. This is the right call. It's all on the shoulders of the IGL. Angle for him. He lines up 2, but he can only net 1. It's Spinks. He got 2 kills in the previous round, 2 in this one, and it may have taken him a while to wake up, but when he has, he's given MOUZ a little bit of life. 2 versus 2 now on the retake in the final round of the half. And look at the util, actually.
Yeah.
Latto full bell. Sadzin's got a couple of flashes too, and Sadzin's opting for the rifle.
It's just always a question of whether they're going to fully get it out. Molotov fails. That's kind of a yikes. The nade in the wrong place. Flashes are your big ones. First comes in, top of the head. He's just not quite sure And Spinks will get them both. Flattens them. Absolutely flattens them. Really, really well done as they look solid towards the end. It's still a lead, though. Legacy looking down the barrel of the 2-0. And we're going to find out in that second half if they can get it done.
Welcome back, Legacy, with a lead on MOUZ's map pick, but this is still absolutely anybody's game. MOUZ now head on towards that generally more favored CT side in most cases. The one thing that worries me is that we know where things are. MOUZ on the CT side is one thing, which is a strength, but Legacy and Art's brazen aggression on a T side can always be difficult to deal with, and we saw how that was the case at times in Dust 2. So let's start with the fundamentals. Pistols, you got the first one, MOUZ, but you failed the force buy. If you can get a nicer start towards the half, something they've yet to do, that'll help.
Oh, man, and it's straight in. I mean, Brollan does well. Catches a jump peek, I think. There's a couple of them going for that. They will go flying forwards, not bothered about the smoke. But Brollan is keeping his head on straight here. We'll take a couple, and that's about the best you can ask of him. Art has managed to pull off the aggression. Oh!
No, you can't lose
my
this.
God.
You can't lose this.
God!
You cannot lose it.
I was joking at first.
Shoot his shoulder.
I was kind of joking.
Okay, good molly.
Man.
Good molly.
Oh, man. He's in, like, there's one guy. Has he not won that, bro? Oh, it's unbelievable. Right, we'll see. They might be able to hold on, though, as you say. Good Molotov. That buys them a lot of time here. looking to just fully draw them in. Taking chips out. Sadsin gets one. He's got the knife out. It's close, though, you know. I don't think they've got it. I don't think they got the defuse. I'm pretty sure I saw the bar like, oh, no, okay, he is on. Still, though.
It's close, though.
He's not got it. Someone got off.
Yeah.
I swear to God, somebody got off.
No, I don't think they did. They just missed the window. It was so close.
No, but there was like someone defusing, and then as we kind of cut out, I saw the bar disappear. Maybe we get it on replay. You know.
I don't think they got off. I just think it was ticking. I thought I heard the the beep where it hits that.
Yeah. It was definitely like close,
mark.
but I swear someone was like on it, and then they got off.
No. As he has knife out, they just got on it, but that was too
I might
far
have to
gone.
get in the demo for that one, bro.
I can't lie.
I might have to ring Mr. ESL and be like, send me the files. You know. I need to know if
John
Miles got off
ESL.
it. Yeah.
Please help me. But bad round to lose nonetheless. Right down to that wire, but not enough. Zershin fighting for his life and he'll lose it. That's Doom out. Delivers one to open things up, boosted on towards barrels. They're going to realize in just a second, when they look towards B, no one's here. The red carpet's rolled out. It's a free site, a free plant, and a free round. And unless there's something found really early here by Spinks and Brollan, I don't even know if you actually want to give this a go. I think you might want to just reuse this force spike.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they kind of already are soft saving for exactly that. Just reuse it towards the next.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting here, you know, like Dust2, you wouldn't say it's the fastest rolling T side, but they start off very slow, built that up, and then they start bursting a little bit. Here on Inferno, it's like the slowest T side by a
Look at this, by the way. They're hunting.
Ah. All right, we are gonna get the diffusing.
We're gonna get an
That's
answer
big.
on this.
That is big. But yeah, what I'm saying here is Legacy have started off on Inferno, which you expect to go a bit slower. They've started off really, really quick.
Yeah.
And I think again that's just kind of catching MOUZ.
I'm telling you, they just get on it too late. I thought, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just got on it too late.
Okay.
Because when he's in Nubox fighting for his life with a knife out, they weren't on it.
Yeah.
And then as he dies, they just get on it, but it's too late.
Right.
So,
That's fair enough.
yeah, put down.
It was all a bit crazy. It was all a bit crazy.
Put down the good stuff, mate. Lock in.
I might still get in the demo. I'm not gonna lie.
What? You just saw it? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's obviously evidence has been tampered with.
Evidence is tampered with. Have a word.
No, I'm pulling your leg.
Oh well. Well, 9-5, and I mean time's running out for MOUZ here. Really, they get a second chance at this force buy. They've got to do something. I mean, they need a statistical anomaly of a round, and it's not a way to start things off. In fact, the M4 for one. MOUZ full blind, so Jimmy will get a second. And hang on a second, we said we needed a round that feels like a statistical anomaly, and it might just be here. 5 versus 3 now, with a bit of damage dealt on towards Sadsin. Might be a chance, and as the T side head to A, so do a couple of those players in towards B, and even look at the aggression from Zershin. He knows that they are committing towards A.
Yeah.
There's a real timer on this.
Could still make it in though.
I can't see them winning this round. There's way too many bodies here, and they don't know they're being flanked.
True, it's a skill check at the end of the day. And they are just waiting for that smoke to dissipate, waiting for a chance to take the fights. And indeed, they will just walk straight into the meat grinder. 1 HP for Latto as he is finished off. So, not happening. I think there was maybe like a tiny brief window. If they continued scaling up short like that, they could have isolated the 2A players, but they take a beat. And the beat is far too long. Yeah, it allows them to get in. But it is IEM Fat with the big round ultimately.
Zershin's flash there is really important too. It just slows them down. Like, they were going to commit to like kind of living and dying by whatever trades they get in towards that site, but that flash, there's a couple of guys on that half wall and they cancel and fall away, and it just leaves them all alone. I'm not dead just yet. Either around or nothing, they get it. You can see where it puts the pressure back on towards the reinvest by Legacy. Oh, it's not exactly pretty. How is this possibly gone favorably for Legacy? Everything looked like this round should fall to pieces in a matter of moments. And in the most Legacy style possible, They're in a 2 versus 4.
Yeah, they have enough like information to go off of because of their earlier B rounds, their earlier B successes. I think they really do feel confident in their ability to replicate that. And confidence is half the game, man.
That's it.
Maybe even more in a game like this, I tell you what. But yeah, double digits in for Legacy. They look sharp. They've got some great individuals performing here. Dumao again. Sadzin all the way up there on both halves now.
Yes, agreed.
Really, really great.
It's great to see Sadzin playing at this level, of course, because he was so quiet in that first half of map number 1 when they were sort of struggling, especially kind of towards the tail end of that first half, and he picked it up in the second. It was pretty vital towards some of those kills that netted them that map up. Yeah, it's been electric here. And Dumao, ever present. Him and Latto were lights out on Dust2, and we're seeing more of the same here. It's fantastic. Confident, very clean on the Counter-Strike by this Brazilian side. And yeah, for MOUZ, I mean, again, we kind of had this same sort of round in towards Dust2 where it was on the brink of kind of do or die. Like, if you lose this, you're kind of playing for overtime. And we had the same thing for MOUZ on Dust2. We've got it here again. Like, you lose this round, you're basically playing for OT.
Yep, 100%. Early shot ringing off for Torji. Off and off the back of it. It's Apartment's control here for Legacy. As they look comfortable while taking it. Jimfat in the unlikely spot here. It will draw them in. Gets traded, but Torji there to back him up. So, mathematical advantage off of a unorthodox play, to say the least. The remainder of the T side are trying to pick up the pieces. And they try and quickly burst out from middle where they think there'll be a gap. They think there'll be a player isolated. Not the case. So again, the remainder of MOUZ have done well to just not allow any more kills to come back in.
Yeah. What do they do from a spot like this? They've got about 45 seconds to work with. It's a late CT smoke down Banana, which they wait for it to dissipate as they start to move back up. It's a slow crawl up Banana, and at the same time, a quick rotate from Brollan, who's coming through. He has a flash, which Andy's just scooped up a nade. Depending on the timing, it could be huge. They're going to contact this cross, though. Zershan waiting, buying time, 20 seconds. There's really not a lot of time for error here as well. Zershan can't quite confirm his kill, but it should be enough. 15 seconds, and now into that 1 versus 4. Sadzin, no chance. So he's going to tuck his tail between his legs and get out of there if he can. Spink's got other ideas. He'll drop a smoke to try and stay alive. And he'll just get out of there, just. As he keeps the AK afloat. They can reinvest in towards the next, but a really important round for MOUZ. Just to have any sort of life left in this series.
It's true. It is true. And I mean, they are not over that hill just yet for Legacy. Still very, very, very catchable here. But I think they might just... MOUZ have done well at the late comeback, so we'll see if they're able to do that again. Torji looking for these early opportunities, a couple rounds in a row now. Aggressive utility from both sides, but it is MOUZ to move forwards.
Oh.
They'll get traded instantly, but it's good to see them get the shoulders out and try and keep the T side at bay. It's more on Spinks here, who honestly, I think would have been the easiest trade in the world, but run into him alone. So he gets 1 kill and is able to back away. A mistake, I think, from Legacy.
Yeah. We're going to double pump this execute, though. We're going to go back in. Flash to take top one under control, but a smoke down by Brollan just to try and slow them down more than anything. Brollan will get the rotate over, so I was going for a 2-2 split on this defense here. Under that minute mark, and what's the idea? Well, Spinks will definitely have heard that. But another smoke will come down. No shocker. Legacy look a little bit lost for ideas at the moment.
They still have the basics to get into B, though.
3 smokes and a flash. Fundamentally, it's enough.
Yeah. Good flash. Here's the big concern. And they're ready to burst. It feels like they maybe have missed the mark. I think they're really waiting to make this a contact flash rather than an initial peak flash. See what they can get away with. Spink's hiding away. Gotta know he's around though. He's already found a kill earlier on. He's just absolutely calculated things here. 15 seconds. He's not wasting any time. Wow. Beautiful stuff. Waited for that flash. Waited to draw them in. And the discipline there is absolutely paramount.
Yeah. Spink's done really, really well there. He had a very, very slow start to this map. He was really struggling out the gates. Took him so long to get on towards the board, but he's making up for lost time here. Fantastic. That flash from Torzi's brilliant. Of course, he'll get the final kill to close it. MOUZ know about it, and of course, so do we, that the money has run dry for Legacy. So a 9th should be an all but guarantee for the CT side. And there is still a lot of life left in this game, and it's still absolutely anybody's for the taking. 1 P250, a few Glocks, no armor, no utility. Proper contact play, and not a terrible idea. It's always going to take a couple of tags, but we'll get the kill.
Jump scare.
Yeah. Armor making all the difference there, really, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Well, that is kind of funny. See it once in a while, you know, players on edge, fully tense, proving that they are indeed human. Looking for the old waterfall here, and is being watched for in a big way. And Jimmy gonna find them all. Lovely stuff. Latto, meanwhile, is on the bait. Not hidden enough. Zertian will still manage to take him down. So flawless one coming in. MOUZ closing his gap exponentially, man. This is a scary look for Legacy, and perhaps a timeout for them. Something that we've not seen very often.
Wouldn't mind a pause. Take a moment to just have a bit of a conversation. Just slow things down a tad. Just going to let it run. Back into the buy, and it's pretty full bar. The fact that Art has to go into a less than premium rifle with that Galil, but he wants to bolster up the util. 3B early for MOUZ. I kind of like this idea. It's obviously being a real pressure point for Legacy in the early rounds. It's kind of part of their default to try and fight up B early. So MOUZ, they can leave out of their book and re-aggressing. Only been out of control taken. And then they can now pull the rotation off. They can leave 2 here, 3 towards A. It's a great way to play it.
Legacy's buy has to work out then. They have started to make a move here. Break coming in. Oh my. Torzi with a missed shot. He's ready for some aggression here, and he will find the response. So misses the easy one, lands the hard one. They've started to scale up short, but it's not looking good. I think things are slowly unraveling for Legacy. Art looking to get himself in that perfect spot, as he so often does.
Oh.
And he might have done it.
Hang on. This is cheeky.
Half an eye on it, though. He still finds the kill. Damn, it's sharp and it's clever.
Half an eye, but he puts a bullet through it. Fair play.
Nice.
Cheers, man. Thanks. I've been practicing.
Oh, faking it out.
I like
we
this.
We go B, we go in A.
This is a nice little re-aggress because Sadzin's surely going to be dead to rights in a second. You'll get 1. Does he expect 2 more, though, around this corner? Or is he going to tuck himself around a separate corner and actually fall away? Look at the time here.
I don't know, they're looking to go for the kills. Still got to get that bomb in, though, because there is that B player so far away. Torzi was watching behind, expects them to come out of the apartments here. He's able to take 2, backs off really nicely. 5-7 out, will go down, but the bomb was missed.
Time.
Nissim thought he'd retrieve the bomb, and his teammate fell right next to him, but he did not pick it up. A small breadth of a hair just really making all of the difference, and yeah, that could have been a big steal.
Honestly, really well done by Torzi. Under a lot of pressure there. He misses a shot. Dead to rights, so's the round. The vibe's getting a lot better as well. Torzi, you know, worth mentioning that he's had a really poor start to this map, but he's really starting to look lively. Came to his half like 3 and 10. So,
yeah, man.
He's done a lot more to make his presence known. It's obviously considerably easier to AWP on that CT side, but yeah, he's done some real nice moments. He's bailing them out some dicey spots. We're tied square, 10 apiece. And all the wind is in the sails of MOUZ at the moment. This is really feeling like a third map might be required.
Wow, kind of crazy. T-side not taking a lot of damage there from those nades, but they dish out quite a bit. It is, of course, the AWP that really stands out. A very, very scary weapon on the other side of the conversation here. 3 smokes for days over there on B. So we'll see. These are always the rounds. I mean, MOUZ won one very similar to this, actually, like a force buy at the tail end. This him. Yeah, dead to rights. That was an elbow as well. He's not quite quick enough to react. He really had his sights set on that smoke.
Arts ticks. They know he's there.
I think subconsciously they know they're all here, to be honest with you. Like, just the way that that peak came in towards middle. Still, though, it is brazen, as you've been saying, and the trades are good. One point going to come in. Numbers evened up now, and weaponry evened up as well. Latto lacking on the armor. Find out if this AWP can lead the way. It's not going to be easy to get in. Sad's in as well. Finding him, eliminating him is the main mission. They're stacked on top of each other. A great little jump peek. Sad's in caught off. Dumao going to have to go above and beyond for all of them, actually. He finds himself alone now. Brings it into the 1 versus 1. And able to look to play that bomb. Tap comes in, and he knows. He knows Torji will take him. It's going to be close with the kit. With the kit, I think he does. Yeah, seconds to spare, honestly. And that's tough for Dumao. He had the right idea, not peeking initially, but the panic gets the better of him, and he's just a bit too wide round that corner against the AWP.
Yeah, he just peeks ever so slightly as that smoke is pluming, but it's enough for Torsi to take a hopeful pop shot. It's really not a bad effort by Legacy, but got a feel from Dumao will be kicking himself for letting this one slip away.
What
just
a peek.
So well. Look
What
at that.
a
It's just as the smoke is pluming. Yeah, head and hands. I don't honestly even blame them. It's late, but it's the first tack timeout for Legacy in this map. As they're on the brink of losing it right. That's final hurdle. And considering that they were at one point at 10-6, look where we're at now. They are in a problematic spot. Only a few rounds ago that we were talking about, MOUZ, you lose this, you're playing for OT. And now it's actually, that script has flipped onto Legacy, and the pressure feels like it's getting to them.
One of the bigger, if not the biggest mistake I think Legacy have maybe made in the series is like a timeout here. Should have been 10-8. Should have been when it's... I like the idea, especially when you've got them to play with, you're in the lead. I like the idea of, okay, we're on our last buy. For the time being. Let's make sure this works.
Yeah, let's talk about this. What have we noticed? How are they liking to play their CT default early? Where can we kind of pile a bit of pressure on? Oh, the nades are a great idea, but they're nade over towards sandbags, not on towards onto corner wall. If they go towards corner, they're getting an opening kill there. Maybe even damage on towards that second player. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty close. They were pretty close to each
other. Nice idea, just unfortunately the execution in the wrong place. Timing on that smoke by Xertion. He avoids the flash too, so he can keep this top car control. I'm slightly retracted. Really does feel like now or never for Legacy. You can really feel the boiling point, the pressure of this round. Legacy know it as much as we do. That's risky.
Could be huge, though. I think he's going to be checked here. Does get traded, but...
Good regress.
It's created some space, hasn't it? Yeah, full distraction away, and surely you feel enough work has been done. Spink's aware. And it's Art in Banana with nothing that he can do to really help his team out. And again, it's like, what have you talked about in that timeout? You're contacting up mid. You don't even smoke long.
Yeah.
There's barely a flash to their name before they're peeking out, and it's just not good enough.
A save will come through for the final 10 seconds for Art. But yeah, money's run low. And with MOUZ now on map point, with what they've proven in this CT side, we're deservedly going towards a third here. We kind of said that Mirage was the handshake in the veto process here. Both sides do like it, but Legacy, they were kicking themselves. Just a couple of mistakes, a couple of even just kills going a different way, and they see off this series in a 2-0 fashion against a very tough side to put to rest, and especially for Legacy, they want to start off this tournament well. You got a 2-0 to cleanly get out of the gates. It really opens the door for them, but look now, double Galil has to come towards round number 23, which very well could be the last of play here, and Torsi wants to make sure of it. I'll say it again, he came in towards this half struggling to have any sort of impact at all, and he has been lights out ever since. Xerxian somehow getting out of there alive. A second nade will come down as well, as Dumal, Art, latto all taking a lot of residual damage. Nade on towards that corner could deal some onto Spinks, and it does, but they're still alive. That's all that matters.
Yeah, numbers look good, and it's all unconfirmed damage, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be able to tell you whether that worked or not on the Legacy side of things, but they still feel confident. Into the B Fortress. 3 players over here. Molotov not quite good enough. Maybe it is designed for that location, but all the same, they're so late to the party. Gonna have to recheck those kinds of spots anyway. Xerxian dealt with quick, as is Brollan, but it's all Spinks that was the last man I was keeping an eye out for. He will hold the line, and he will finish the job. MOUZ with a pretty insane comeback, all things considered. I think we were 10-7 there, and yeah, really, really look good as they're able to just keep their composure, something that I maybe felt was missing in this series up to that point. Really, really well done for really keeping their heads together, really looking disciplined, and a lot of it on this guy, both physically on the server, but also I think just what he's able to bring to keep that energy up. Tried on Dust2, didn't quite work, but on Inferno they were able to bounce back really well.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So now it comes down to the side of Mirage as well. We kind of said this is a bit of a handshake for both of these two sides. They both really enjoy playing. We've got a knife round as well, of course. Always good to see who starts where. It's very rare that we get to see the knife round as well. Oh. Loves had to start. He looks offended.
Yeah, this is why we don't get to see the knife round, because it just stands still for like a minute.
Faff about. They're spraying on the floor. Come on, guys. Somebody's got to commit. One of you. One of you. Anytime today, lads. Jesus. Come on.
I was joking when I said a minute, but I think it genuinely has been a minute. So.
Come on. We got a show to get over here. What is going on here? Here we go. Finally, about damn time. Knives coming through from both sides. Looking... Oh.
Yeah, there you go, MOUZ.
There you go. MOUZ won it. I'm assuming they'll start on that CT side as well.
Okay.
And they will. We said it's a bit of a handshake for both of these sides as well. Now, I hate to say it because I know some people are going to love the moment. Apparently, owner picks with the moment. But both of these sides have won 6 out of the last 7 in this map. He apparently just broke the German record for most 6-7s in a minute. So.
What's that about? There's no way we're doing country records. It's really gotten bad. Into the B bomb site, as society might be falling apart around us, as is the B bomb site attack. Sadzin, the only one left. He only gets that one kill. And it will be MOUZ to take it. So picking up where they left off, and you can see some dejection already, you know? Not the happiest looking faces, to be honest with you. So might be in for a long third map here on that Legacy side of things, who really feel like they should have had this one done by now.
Yeah, very early. It feels like for them to look a little bit demotivated already. Let's hope it's nothing too serious, but there won't be any sort of a buy here. No shocker, really, with nothing being found in towards that first. This one's a little bit of a throwaway. But again, you'd like a plant. And they're going for the old MM classic. Everybody go to one site. The bomb waits towards B in hopes that they can dive out.
Well, this has got like an extra layer to it.
Yeah, because it's like a double-pronged.
Yeah. I'm really noticing. I'm really watching, learning, taking it in.
Or overcooking, potentially.
No. This is... Then you look, see if anyone peeks, and then you go back to B, and surely they'll think it's B. It's very smart. It's very smart.
Okay. One is rotating towards mid.
Yep. You're too early.
Die.
Too early.
Oh, that's that. And Dumal will drop as well. So
you needed me calling the shots on that one, man. I'm a master of the you go A, I go B.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably because of, you know, I don't play in these games. Let's just say that.
Really? Oh, I thought you could handle yourself here, mate.
Well, in a round like that, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's your moment.
Way too early. You've got to leave it to like the last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone has the patience for that at this level of the game.
Well, first proper round for Legacy, and let's see what they're all about. Start isn't exactly successful for them, and we're worried about the woes of that late Inferno creeping in towards the Mirage. We'll see whether that's the case. Yeah, this will be a nice little litmus test against that bonus buy. Especially considering it was a flawless round for MOUZ. Not really much they needed to reinvest into. Big front con smoke. So actually going to play behind it. I like the idea as well. It gives them the opportunity to have a little look in towards short, see if there's any movement up in that direction. But if they want to dive through con, they've got to fight through him. Going to re-smoke it as well. This is an A split, but I wonder whether they want to boost one in towards window.
Yeah, they're thinking about it. I think it's part of the scale here. Just waiting for the right moment to do so, and also, yeah, perhaps, again, trying to pull the wool over the eyes of their opponents. A lot of teams will do this with a smoke in towards them.
Grenade, that's the bomb.
Yeah, dropped and heard, figured out, but they're just not ready because there's not a smoke down, and they've managed to get away with it almost for free. It's the two-man setup in towards Palace, balcony. That really could be the game changer. Latto manages to find Brollan. Bomb still can't get out. Great little Molotov. But it's MOUZ in the ascendancy with only 20 seconds left on this clock. Arc gonna go down. Latto remains all alone, trying to find the tip of the head. It's not happened for him. Somehow survives that fight. But all the same, they had him dead to rights with the repeak. So 3 in a row. MOUZ looking good. And I don't know, man. It feels like a lot of the life has been pulled out of Legacy.
Yeah, we're just not seeing that fire at the moment from them. And they're very good, as we've kind of been talking about these quite punchy rounds on the T side, but I just don't see it there. Be whittled away a little bit too easily, and I like the way MOUZ also approaching it too. Kind of for them, they're liking to stick together, playing this sort of buddy system in trading off each other. It's just working really well. Not a lot to complain about. So back into a low buy again for Legacy, as MOUZ have got a nice springboard to start this third map. Good timing on the smoke, but they might just disregard it anyway. They might fly on through, and then they come. What they got for us? Torsey holding for the ramp progression. He's been caught by a flash, and now a smoke in his face. He'll break it open, one behind, spotted crossing. Nothing he can do about it, so they will take the A site. No one dead just yet as they get that C4 down.
Yeah, messy. Very messy, to say the least. Re-smoke comes in, though. It's slightly deeper and kind of in the perfect spot. Forces all these con players to the back, but they will still try and brute force their way in. 1 kill on a bomb plant. It's not the worst, it's not the best, but Legacy, I think, can still be satisfied with that. Gives them a boost into this following round. I was looking good, though. A smile out of Brollan.
Yeah.
Listen, he's a pretty stoic guy, so that's really good signs that they are absolutely feeling good here.
Yeah, a lot to like at the moment, early from MOUZ. Obviously, there was woes in towards Dust2, especially that first half of Inferno as well, issues that crept forward, but it's been gradually getting cleaner and cleaner, and we're really seeing a bit more of the pinnacle of them now. This is a lot more like it. As we come back in towards the buy for this T side. Legacy, you don't find number 5, and we're actually starting to really start, ring a few alarm bells. That's where we look to say, I'd like an early attack timeout of some sort. Brollan, dead to rights. No way. There was way too much pressure on his sort of position. And the fight on 2 fronts, he'll lose his life. So once again, the A site lost, this time with a full buy behind it. This is a lot more like it.
Yeah, and I mean, the big thing here as well to bear in mind is Legacy have gone really quick. They've gone back to what they feel works, and just their basic answer for problems is to rush, which, again, is just not all that common for the top teams. They tend to take it slow and then burst things out, but the flat spawn-based rush is not as common. Nades look good, softening them up, but no kills found. There are kits available here, but with no kills coming their way, MOUZ, I think begin to consider this.
Yeah.
Torgy is so far away. It does look like Essex, really. And they will maybe find some.
Oh, or maybe not.
Quite forward-facing, actually, in the end, to be honest with you.
Terrorists win.
Towards to get one of his own on the way out, but it's Duma in the end who delivers with 4 kills to his name. He opens up that round that he closes it to on that sort of soft save, slight hunt play. Not good enough. So Legacy, we said that was a very important round. We kind of needed it, or else alarm bells be ringing out. At least for now, they can subside. He's back into the buy for MOUZ. No problems. They got plenty of cash for this round and for the next if required, really. I mean, Torsey's sitting on just shy of 6.5. Time an early lean towards B. And all 5 are in this direction, and they're going to go quick. We kind of said it. In default positions, they dive for pacier rounds, and they're going for that once again. Jimmy's up here towards jail, but it's Torsey to open up proceedings as Nissan will hit the deck. For another on the cross, but Jimfat moves early, and actually, so does Spinks. So the numbers go back in favor of the T side.
Yeah, latto being sort of lightly dotted into the bomb site was just not communicated, not spotted maybe. And potentially another save here. I mean, they're so far away.
Yeah, I don't think they give this one a look in.
Yeah. This is tough, man. This is tough. MOUZ, right place, right time, just not quite landing those shots and not quite sure of themselves. They're really having the mechanics tested. They have failed the past couple of rounds. I was ready to kind of say, okay, Legacy, rush B, it's pretty transparent. They lose that round out. What have you got now?
Yeah.
Not much, but it's actually working for them. Still does come into the conversation, though. You've gone A, you've gone B, you maybe have fast mid, but, like, what else do you really have in the locker if the slower rounds are not working for you? They tend to be something that you're always going to have to fall back on. I don't think he'll quite reach it. It's not going to get there in time, but to take 2 on the way out is pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually a silver lining, to be fair. 3 saved. Only 1 staying alive as well for Legacy. You can't take a silver lining out of that spot for sure. But last 2 rounds, slightly pacier. Punch in, you can really just see for Cyclone how he's like, right, we need to cut this out immediately. Like, this cannot be how they run this T side. We can't let them continue to kind of like essentially run the gauntlet on us with these quick rounds and just hope that they can fall back on mechanics, because ultimately Legacy can, right? That's kind of the beauty of this Legacy side, is like in times when it's really quite difficult, they can fall back on a lot of these individuals, in particular somebody like a Dumao who's come out the gates looking quite strong. 2 rounds now for him where he's got an entry to give them space in towards the site, and off the back of his entries, they can close things out. Just can't afford for that to be a consistent factor on this T side. From a 4-0 start as well. Now starting to run a little bit finer on the fun. That money to buy in towards the next, but if things continue at this trajectory, not only will Legacy tie it up, but they'll break your econ in doing so.
Yeah, we'll find out. But this is it. They go back. It's slower. What can they really do from here? They're hoping that by being aggressive, they've put that ingredient into the recipe, and MOUZ are going to try and do the same thing. They're looking to catch off some aggression, but it's just not coming. MOUZ are not playing their game.
It's true.
Maybe in a way, we've got MOUZ playing even more passive to prepare for the aggression that might come their way.
Kind of feels like you want to see MOUZ get a bit more proactive, even as just like an information gather.
Yeah.
Oh, that's been heard.
It has. I mean, it's fair enough. Utility comes out from the same player. But you notice Zertion's got an eye on the window boost, even despite the lack of smoke again, so they're not falling for that same kind of gimmick. A light change up in the way that they will actually boost the player through the smoke. But Zertion is still watching. There's once in a while going to be a team where you have to watch this angle. Oh, they've got the right idea. And Zertion's moved away.
Good nade.
I think this looks pretty good, though. Overlooked on the chair. And your flanking presence as well was picked up by the AWPer. So it's not going to happen here. Not enough time. And Legacy, when they turn that dial back down, turn the heat down, they just don't know what to do.
So the issue is, right, being one-dimensional is where they're getting their rounds, right? And they're getting their successes by being really pacey, really quite puggy. And of course, Mirage is a map where you can really lean into that. It is sort of the pugger's paradise. It's the map that everybody knows and loves. But being so one-dimensional in that sense, you can get conditioned. And this is sort of where MOUZ are at now, where they know what to expect. They know not to overfire. Or if they're doing so, making sure they have the right utility and trades around them, that they can kind of pile that pressure back on towards Legacy, use their own pace against them. Or when they don't throw pace, it feels like they're just a little bit weaker in terms of how scary this T-side should be. Which is a worry, right? The only thing you can do is, from what we've seen in the first 7 rounds of play, the only real blessings of Legacy have come from really quick rounds. Even the rounds that they've lost, where they've got a bomb plant or they popped in towards A, which we kind of saw much earlier in the half. It was really pacey, really nice to see. All these slower rounds so far have been super ineffective. I wonder if this one's going to be more the same, because again, it's another slower round where they're building through mid-control, poking and prodding towards both the B and the A side and seeing what comes up, but I also don't look too phased by it.
Agreed. Oh, lovely little flash over. Xerxian not able to net the frag, and he will lose his own life for the trouble. So MOUZ tries some aggression. Doesn't quite work out. Maybe they will go back to just sitting on their hands for the best part of a minute and a half. Nonetheless, damage done, info gained. These are things that you can argue. It's going to be a pivot back towards A, which does feel like a capitalization on the squishier bomb site, as it were.
Yeah, it's just Torzy. Oh, bad timing on scope. Wow.
That is just so unfortunate. I think with...
as bad as it gets,
yeah,
really,
the luck going against you like that, you're on the wrong bomb site, the rest of the guys, just going to be a save here for MOUZ.
Yeah. A loose look at exits, really, but yeah, you're spot on. You just shell up here. It's good to see that Legacy can bring in those slower rounds again. We haven't really seen them for a while. We haven't seen them at all really on towards this map, but obviously kind of for a while, even back on Inferno. That's just unfortunate. Even if Torzy gets one there, it's a different story. You know, he gets 1 falls away, back into like a 4 versus 4 where they can actually fathom the idea around a retake, but it works against him. Sadzin playing exits for him. No catch. Jimmy lurking around TV room. Brollan gets one back in blood at least. Orp scooped up. Oh, and latto just caught a knife out, in fact. Spink's probably not worth the fight, to be honest. So a couple of kills at the end, which you'll take as small little parting gifts, but it's Legacy now making this a 2-round game. Yeah, it's just so unfortunate for Torzy. He just doesn't want to be double scoped in case they walk out of Palace, right, because he's so alone there. He's also worried that potentially they could actually move up towards stairs or actually contact up through connector, because he was the only one towards that side. They'd gone for an early gamble call of 3 towards B.
I'm trying to think of where that comes from as well.
I think it was just late in towards the round numbers disadvantage, and they were like, let's just take a chance here. They've defaulted a couple of times towards B. Let's see whether they do it again, but in the end, not to be. I don't hate this. A double move through ramp with Brollan leading the charge. No one's here. If anything, partly you'd kind of think, Xerxian, do you fall away now? But no, they're both going to sit together and start moving the way. One of you has to keep eyes trained. This Sim. Knife out as he rounds the corner. It's a little bit uncomfortable for Sadzin, but does he expect the second? Oh, the kill. That's a great nade. Perfectly placed. Touchdown by Xerxian. Let's get the numbers back in favor of MOUZ. I love the aggression.
Yeah, really well found. As they look set to maybe push things forward to press the attack, so to speak. And remaining aggressive off ramp for quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm going to move back towards the safer spots, but Legacy, of course, and down. A wild walkout from Spinks, but it is easy for him. Dumao turned the wrong way. Art's made his way up the window. What can he get done over here? Xerxian will check him. The molly puts him on alert, really.
Kind of
it's going to be latto.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny. Latto is going to be left fully alone. 1 versus 4. Nothing going to happen for him, so it will be a save out. And MOUZ able to retain their lead in their strong position here. But again, seeing some life in them. They are certainly capable as they will move their way with full contact aggression on the CT side. It's pretty scary, but it works nice.
Yeah, it's a nice round. It's just a little bit uninspiring from Legacy. So MOUZ are guaranteed. Worst case scenario is that tie game at the half, the way they're playing, it feels very likely that they should be taking a lead. Actually running with it. Speak a lot about the CT side of this map now, second highest of 2026 thus far, just behind of Overpass. You got those three of like Overpass, Nuke, Mirage of all so CT side of this year, depending on kind of the level. Tier 2 is a little bit different compared to that top end. So going a bit quicker. You get out in front of the molly. That molly has split up the pack. A smoke that'll come down behind it as well. Jimmy knows that this is a real potential to be something dicey here. That's a great find. And 40's now rotated over at a great time, but he can't find the trade. He's going to stick around, and in doing so, that second swing will lose him his life. But Spinks has got other ideas. 3 for him to shut down B, and Sadzen's all left. He can't scoop up a gun. That was feeling very uncomfortable, but Spinks bails them out of a bad spot.
Yeah, it's just holding the line. No retreat ultimately is what they're after there, and although shots are missed by the AWP, his mission may well have been a bit different. Creates all this space and information for Spinks to work from.
Yeah.
Fantastically done from him, but he had backup on the way, right? They're just able to really keep control of the site itself. Absolutely fantastic stuff, as they will continue that lead. And Legacy not out of the danger zone, right? 3 rounds is not going to be enough for you. Great flash coming round. They're totally caught.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what they go back to now? It's a rush. Let's try and rush in there. Well, this time, MOUZ are very, very ready. It's not going to work. And you can just see the playbook for this Legacy side perhaps barely even exists. Only about 4 pages long on Mirage.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And you can kind of see even for Art, his sort of reaction there. He's been absolutely read like a book by Brollan, who's walked away with 4 kills. And one of those situations of if you don't laugh, you'll cry kind of thing. That's exactly how Art feels. 1 and 9 for him. He's really struggling. 0-9 for Nissim. Yeah. It's not what you want to be.
Should have closed out. And then map 3, just not our map. Whether that is because of the way map 2 goes or just the way that their Mirage does not perform.
Yeah.
Tough to say. But yeah, certainly not looking good here. As MOUZ are 1 step closer to 9-3 and 1 step closer to that finish line if this continues in the fashion it is.
Yeah, exactly that. It feels very unlikely they don't get a 9th, to be honest, considering the buy. Galil for Dumao is as good as it gets. Diving up though, Zertian. Be tested in a second, but it's Spinks to open up proceedings. Zertian going to go in front of the flames. I love the idea. You've got the AWP at range to hold down the fort for you a little bit, and it's just all falling apart. It is beautiful from MOUZ. Lovely stuff from them to shut out the half, and they have put a statement up there. Legacy are in trouble. We'll see off the break.
Well, here we go. Could be the end of the road in this series, to be honest. MOUZ have looked very, very good in that first half. Legacy with the Legacy gimmick, you know, just rushing in, catching you off for a round or two, but they've not really been able to replicate or outbrain their opponents necessarily. And now the pistol worth its weight in gold. The odds raise your eyebrows by the looks of it.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, though, to be honest. I mean, Legacy have been an absolute non-starter here, Mirage, which we thought would be a nice handshake. It felt like, of all the maps in the pool, it was like, this one feels like guaranteed we'll get it. Who will pick it? How will it come into play here? But, yeah, man, it's just been so rough by Legacy. They've offered up next to nothing. This pistol feels like it's everything. You lose this, and I don't really have any sort of faith. I mean, I kind of already don't have any faith, but that'll make it even worse. You've got Art 1 and 10, Nissim 0 and 10, 0 kills in the half. Like, it's a bleak time for the Brazilians on home soil as well, especially considering that they honestly should have 2-0'd this.
Yeah, and I think they know it, really. They're looking to try and do what they can. Oh, it's a big kill to give latto the chance on these Julies here. Ultimately, 3 kills created around him. Could be huge. Bomb recovered lightly. Still don't really have space to get into the bomb site itself, though. Xerxian looking for some elevation to try and change things up and find that all-important head. Still not feeling confident enough to cross to get this plant. He'll run out of space, but he really wants the high ground.
Yeah.
Really wants to try and net a head from here, but as soon as he shows himself, it's a double swing. It's all on him. They've given him space. There's not a lot of time left now, though. He's got to recover the bomb back himself, which, again, they are looking to lightly hold. He's happier to take the fight, it would seem, than plant that bomb.
No.
And he might start getting away with it. So calculated thus far. 2 easy kills, a bomb plant in the nick of time, and a low HP Nissim.
He has no armor as well, because he's got the kit.
Yeah, this is scary. I think Nissim needs instant headshot if he is to take this. And he's lost track. He's lost track. He does not know where Jimmy's at right now. Gonna tap that bomb. Will he consider CT? It looks like he probably will now that he's checked firebox, but no, he is just going in.
Oh, he doesn't fall for it.
Wow, okay. Jimmy just not peeking. Second time of asking. He will get in there, and it's a little dicey. But Jim Fat with the 1 versus 3.
He doesn't fall for the initial tap. That is so well played by Infat. Just nerves of steel not to swing around that corner. Especially when everyone's low and they've all lost track of each other. But the big thing about that, that's a 2 versus 4 they fumbled. That is poor from Legacy. Then into the 1 versus 3 and done so well. Infat, huge round to scalp away. And that might just be one of the final nails in the coffin for Legacy. That was a gift. That's one they couldn't convert. Still yet to get on the board. Art couldn't get one in that round either. They're round that corner. latto will get one of his own. It is a double from Spinks to try and answer back. And Xerxian and Torzi will add some more pain into it. Dumal's all that's left of a P250, but no real chance for him in this one. Yes, there's a fair decent amount of damage dealt towards MOUZ here, but this round's a write-off, and that's MOUZ up to 11. This is essentially 1 gun round to keep Legacy alive in the map, and the series, and Dumal flames at his feet. We'll see him off as he burns to a crisp. This is it. This is now or never for this series. You lose this, you've got no money heading into what is most likely the final round of play in this series.
Yeah, tough prospect. Very, very tough prospect, I think. And, you know, there's maybe some checkout from the Legacy guys. Look, sometimes it is just as simple as you got 2 players who are 1 and 24, which is just a crazy stat to say.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's rough. And you can look at that and you can go, all right, well, you know, nothing we can really do about that. Like, we didn't plan for that. You can't necessarily blame anyone. It happens to the best of us. But seemingly, at the worst of times, is the problem for Legacy right now. Maybe an injection of something here if they can find this first rifle.
Yeah, and even outside of kind of the 1 and 24 for 2-year players, you look on that flip side as well for MOUZ, and it's like their worst performing player so far would be the top for Legacy. I mean, it's such a poor showing here. Dumal, only one who's had his moments. latto, the occasional kill here or there. This is it. Sazzin's glass cannon with the AWP as well. It's worth keeping an eye on that. Lovely work. Xerxes was waiting for that. Dumao, he double checks in. He'll lose his life, but Sadzin will do something at least with that AWP, and Nissim finally gets on the board, and he actually gets 2 for it. Better late than never.
It's true.
I was worried he was going to go killless on the map. So
yeah, that would have been insane, but he does redeem himself slightly. Is it enough to give his team the round, though? I think is the question here. And they're actually way, way ahead of things on B. They will slow down, not realizing how good they could have had it. Sadzin out with some light support behind him, but they've split up. Flash comes in, slightly delayed second as well. Going to give Jimfat the space that he needs. The AWP doesn't quite know what to do. The backpack sticking out. Latto gets in the nick of time. Torji with the fake to draw the one-on-one, but there's no time remaining. Latto plays it well to just force him off of that bomb. And it will be Legacy to survive for the time being.
Yeah, Not plays it well by being nowhere near the crowd scene there. He was all the way in towards mid, but it works. Torji was looking for that fight. They left it very, very late, but it's just about staying alive. And that dive out from window is so unbelievably important. Because Sadzin was spotted, I think you've actually got to be a little bit more aggressive on clearing Sadzin in towards back pillar. Obviously, in hindsight, not dead just yet. Little life left in Legacy, but still a long, long road to recovery. So only an MP9 for him. We brought in towards round 16, but then flip side, Brollan only has a Tech 9. Oh, the nade's good. The nade's very good. Just break open that smoke as well. But they don't do anything behind it. The spam deals a bit of damage to Xerxes on the retreat.
Later utility out here. Maybe for some mid control. They're so far back. Got like no map control right now. Which is a little wild. I guess trying to earn it. The Palace play could be the difference maker here, but a minute left on the clock.
I like the setup a lot though by Latto and Sadzin. It's so aggressive to kind of try and meet them where they would try and kind of go for a waterfall here. Because eyes are going to be trained naturally towards the likes of kind of CT back, triple jungle, these sort of positions. They're ready to fight right up in their face. And Sadzin, if he can get one, start things off, that'd be huge. But he doesn't. The crouch peek. But Latto, he's going to get overlooked. He struggles with the first, but he's still alive briefly. But briefly is the key words, the Tech 9 will trade.
Wow, I mean, just gaps everywhere. We got this smoke on short. They did think they were going towards B. So, yes, the setup was there, but I think maybe Mines... and eyes a little bit elsewhere as info that it could be a short split came in, and that was just enough to distract away. Even though they kept the positions, they just weren't quite as locked in as they might have been 10 or 15 seconds prior. No mid presence from the CT side. They were able to just charge up Con and not get shot in the back. So again, ideas in place maybe with site partnerships, but the overall encompassing setup just not on the money.
It's true, Sadzin just needed to go 1 for 1 in that first engagement. And then with doing that, if he gets one, Trey comes through, but that play up close and personal gets another, so then the advantage comes back and it buys time for the rotations from that B setup. But it goes the other way. The trades are fantastic for MOUZ. Easy pop through and towards the A side, and that tech down that moves through from connector, really effective. 12-4. Map and series point. MOUZ on this reverse sweep. Off the back of a lackluster Dust2 and a poor start towards Inferno as well. It was really looking very likely that they were going to get 2-0'd in this series. And Legacy went missing at the halfway point of Inferno, and unfortunately we never found them again.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way of putting it.
Thanks.
To be honest, no, but it's true. It's very true.
But it has quite literally been 3 halves. Well, they've never been there.
They're just stuck there. I think they are just really in that, damn, we should have won.
Yeah.
And that does not seem to have been shaken off in between maps, in between halves.
And I think credit to, the kind of the leadership in this side, right? You've got a couple of voices that are very prevalent with MOUZ. Obviously, you've kind of got Cyclone behind the scenes, Torzi, who does a lot of that kind of secondary calling, but Brollan as well. I think Brollan, he has really read art and the style he likes to play like a book. And maybe it took a while to understand what he's trying to throw in and what his defaults look like and what signs are there to kind of get a read and get an understanding. But I mean, once he has, it's only been one-way traffic. Let's see. Sadden up close. Coming towards Torsi. They behind as well, but he'll lose his life. How about the second there for Brollan? The IGL leading by examples. They dive out and towards A, and this could be the beginning of the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's just perfect, man. It's just absolutely perfect as they entry their way in. MOUZ will take down Brollan. He's looking for a little more here. And perhaps... Oh, it's too much to ask. The MP9.
Oh, no.
The difference maker. He's been flanked out now as well before he can even finish that kill off.
Speaking of flanks.
Yeah, we do have Nissim here. Looking to get a few more kills to his name. Bomb goes... Oh. Bomb goes down.
You hate to see it. You really do.
So does Nissim.
Yeah.
And so does the series. That's a rough one. Their last chance at anything. MOUZ is just too far away. 14 HP. This is a save, but you can't save. And the nade even to finish him off. He doesn't even have a peek come his way. They definitely knew about him. MOUZ going to take it. Look, slow start from them. Dust2, we maybe flash back to it, right? They lost both pistols. Maybe if they get one there, they could have found Dust2. They could have found this in 2-0 fashion. So I will say that throughout, although scorelines are a little bit close, it definitely